Good day, everyone. So, we are now heading to a new chapter. So, under chapter 6 is product oriented pricing strategies. So, we have the last part or third part of types of pricing under product oriented pricing strategies. So, first is product form pricing, next is product mix pricing, another is optional product pricing. Next is captive product pricing and multiple unit pricing. Outcomes of this chapter. So at the end of the discussion, you'll be able to understand the following product under the product-oriented pricing strategies. First is the product form pricing. So it can be a subset of premium pricing, if you can recall from the previous chapter, and is one of the pricing techniques used when a company wants to get a maximum benefit for its brand name or maximum leverage from recently launched popular products. Number one example, as you can see on your screen, is Apple. No? So one of the company which have seen repeatedly actually implementing product form pricing is the Apple company. So if you look closely, Apple will have the same smartphones, the same earphones, and the same laptop, but you will have to pay a bit quite extra for various features even though the cost is comparatively lower. So, di ba, pagka nag-release ang iPhone, especially the iPhone, hindi lang naman yan isang unit or isang bagong product. Merong the base product, may next level, may next na unit, and then another is yung pinakahuling niya o pinakamataas niyang product. That's why it's sometimes called a subset of premium pricing strategy. So in this slide taken from Amazon, actually, our both laptops are 13 inches in diameter. If you will compare the cost of the components added to the second laptop, then the cost will be minimal actually, no? But the selling price is at least ayan 30%. If you will compute 30% more. So this is a perfect example of a product form pricing. So for the advantages and disadvantages of product form pricing, for the customer perception, one of the advantages is it allows price differentiation based on the product features, quality, or packaging. While for the disadvantage, it may lead to confusion or dissatisfaction if price differences are not justified or understood. For the revenue maximization, the advantage of product form pricing, it captures different willingness to pay from various customer segments. And for the disadvantage, there's a risk of alienating cost-sensitive customers or losing customers to competitors. For the market segmentation, the advantage is it helps target specific market segments by offering varying prices for different product forms. For the disadvantage, too complex segmentation might not align with the actual customer preferences. It will reduce the effectiveness of the product form specification. Aspect of profit margins, of course, the advantage is there will be higher end products can carry premium prices, increasing profit margins, while for the disadvantage, it may require a higher production cost for the differentiated forms, impacting overall profitability. For the product differentiation, it enhances perception of the product diversity and caters to diverse consumer needs. For the disadvantage, its excessive differentiation could dilute a brand or make the product line less coherent. And for the aspect of operational efficiency, to support upselling or cross-selling is one of the advantages of product form pricing that supports a product portfolio. And for the disadvantage, it increases complexity in pricing structures, can complicate inventory and pricing management. And for the aspect of competitor, it enables competitive pricing within the product line. But for the disadvantage, competitors might easily replicate the product itself. Next type of pricing under the product-oriented pricing strategy is the product mix pricing. So the product mix pricing strategy is a strategy for setting a product's price that maximizes profits on the total product mix. So a product mix includes all the products of the company has to offer its customers. The strategy is a roadmap in making multiple sales and leveraging sales in your product lines in increase profitability. So for example, if yung Dove na company has a multiple products in its portfolio and it starts with one product, cheap product, it can affect the brand equity of Dove and profitability of Dove product line will subsequently drop. If the profitability of the Dove product drops, the revenue available for the other product lines to be marketed also drop. So thus, a wrong product mix pricing decision is avoided by companies at all costs. So in general, there are 6 types of product mix pricing used by any organizations to take care of their product mix and product lines. So first, we have product line pricing. So it's a strategy where a company sets different prices for products within the same product line. So these price variations reflect the differences in features, quality, or benefits. The goal is to offer multiple options or at various price points to attract different types of customers. So encouraging them to choose a product that best fits their needs and their budget. So for example, a smartphone brand might offer a basic model, no? Hindi ko na sasabihin yung brand. So, di ba, meron yung mid-range model, then we have the premium model. So, while all belongs to the same product line, same company, same brand, each is priced differently to appeal the different segments. So, budget-conscious buyers, average users, and tech enthusiasts. So, this strategy not only maximizes reach, but can also nudge customers toward higher end models by highlighting added value of the product. Type under the product mix pricing is the optional feature pricing. So an organization charges extra for an added feature it provides, and the prices are determined based on the features provided. So for our example, we have hotels and resorts. Yan, kaka-bakasyon lang, kaka-long weekend. So they will charge more for scenery facing views, 'di ba? Yung mga sunset views, yan yung mga yung pinaka top floor, iba yung price niya when it comes to the ordinary rooms. But they are offering same, or almost actually offering same service. So similarly in core products, so like if you're familiar with Hyundai, no? Naglabas sila ng Hyundai i20. So, meron siyang tatlong variants. We have yung Asta, Magna, and Sports. So, same with actually no, yan with Yamaha Mio. Di ba? Mio din siya, pero merong Mio S, may Mio 125, may Mio Soul. So, they are all on the same product line, which is offering other features for the price of another. Type under product mix pricing is the captive product pricing. So it is a pricing strategy that involves selling one core product and multiple accessory products. So the core product is typically purchased only once, no? Then often at low price point actually, and typically requires additional accessories to work. So the captive products complement the core products. So the customers must purchase captive products to continue using the core product to get more value from it. So yung ating example diyan is yung Gillette na razor. Diba, bibilin mo siya almost 100 ang isa. And then, to continue using or to get the value from it, you have to buy yung complementary product niya, which is the blade. So it's somehow similar to the loss leader pricing strategy that they are offering low price for the core product and then dun lang sila bumabawi dun sa mga accessory like sa printer. Nowadays, you can buy 2,000, 3,000 worth of printer pero saan sila bumabawi ngayon? Sa ink. Diba? Mas mahal ang ink actually sa printer. The fourth type under the product mix pricing is the two-part pricing. So it involves charging customers both a fixed fee and a variable fee based on the usage. So, diba, experience nyo naman siguro lahat kayo na mag field trip, no? So when we go to amusement park like Enchanted or Star City, you have to pay a basic entrance fee, diba? You can also avail yung ride all you can, but meron din naman silang entrance lang, then you have to pay for each ride. And then of course, yung mga refreshment, yung mga food, no? It is paid separately. So that is two-part pricing. So magbabayad ka upon entrance. So yun yung part 1, while the complementary service or product is the second part. Fifth type of product mix pricing is the by product pricing. So it is similar. It is a pricing strategy in which the byproducts of the process are also sold separately at a specific price so as to earn additional revenue from the same infrastructure or setup. So, a similar pricing is observed in coconut oil production, di ba? So, where the remaining of the coconut or yung niyog is rich in fiber, it can be used as fertilizer. So, na-squeeze na yung oil niya doon sa coconut. So, yung sapal niya o yung leftover is used to become a fertilizer that they can be sold separately. Yung sa sugar cane naman is used to make for sugar. So, after making the sugar, yung sapal niya can be sold as building material, no? So, iba ginagawa nilang wood, no? And then when we say byproduct pricing, it's a strategy where a company sells the secondary or leftover products ng byproduct. So, generated during the production of its main product. So, instead of discarding these byproducts, they are priced and sold separately to generate extra income. So, this approach helps in reducing waste, lowering overall production costs, and maximizing the use of existing infrastructure. So, yun nga kanina, we also have another example, yung lumber mill, di ba? Yung gumagawa or nagtatabas ng tabla. Di ba? Pagka kinakat mo siya, mayroong tumatapon or yung sawdust na tinatawag natin. So, it is collected, packaged, and sold as animal bedding or fuel pellets. While the byproduct isn't the main focus, so monetizing it adds value to the production process. So, kumbaga na susulit yung machineries, yung production facilities natin. Under the product mix pricing is the product bundle pricing. So, dito, I guess no need to further to discuss. You are very familiar with the product bundle pricing. So, it is a strategy where companies sell separate products together and offer a single and typically reduced prices. So one of the reason why product bundle pricing is effective to company is that it creates a win-win situation for both the buyer and seller. So on the other hand, the buyer gets the product at a discounted price or the benefits of the saving, while on the other hand, yung retailer or the seller gets the drive sales or more items in one transaction, and so increases its average transaction value or units per customer. So typically, such a increase translates into more sales and more absolute gross profits as a result of the increased sales. Another one is the optional product pricing. So it is a method to determine product cost where a business sets a low cost for its basic product and then profits from selling more costly on accessories. So ito again, similar with the loss leader. No? So optional product pricing is an approach where businesses offer additional or optional products or service as a separate at a separate price, has emerged as a pivotal factor in maximizing revenue and enhancing customer satisfaction. So optional product pricing is distinguished in a market of computer, printers, and smartphones, diba? That mostly have a low initial entry prices where the cost of the accessories like yung ink, yung mga adapter are very substantial. So we have two components actually when it comes to optional product pricing. So we have the base product. So the main draw for the customers or why they are making their purchase. So it fulfills the customer's needs and doesn't require the optional product to function. So base product are sometimes referred as to loss leaders. While the second component is the complementary product. So a product that someone who purchased the base product may be likely to buy to enhance their experience with the base product, like an additional added features for software or adding GPS or radio, satellite radio pag bumili kayo ng car. The advantages and disadvantages of optional product pricing for the aspect of revenue. We have advantage is it increases revenue from or through upselling of the optional features, while the disadvantage risk of the customers avoiding purchases due to perceived overcharging. For the customer satisfaction, one of the advantages is it offers flexibility and customization for the diverse needs, while for the disadvantage, the overwhelming option may lead to decision paralysis. So maraming option, di na makakapag-decide. For the aspect of market segmentation, it caters different customer segments. We have like the budget-friendly and the premium one. For the disadvantage, misalignments in options can alienate certain customer groups. Product differentiation, one of the advantages, it enhances competitiveness by allowing unique feature combinations, while excessive focus on options may dilute the core product's value for disadvantage. For the aspect of sales strategy, it encourages upselling and bundling opportunities, while the disadvantage is the complex pricing structure can confuse customers. For the operational efficiency, it focuses on popular optional features can improve resources allocation, while for the advantage, managing inventory for optional product increases logistical challenges. For the market and branding aspect, it builds brand appeal through tailored solution, while the disadvantage is the higher marketing cost to communicate optional product value. So you have to create another marketing actually for the optional product while concentrating on the core product. Lastly, we have the captive pricing. So captive pricing is a strategy where a business sells a core product along with complementary or accessory products. So the core product is priced lower while the accessory products are priced higher, allowing the company to increase overall revenue and profit. So ating example dito is the coffee maker. So it's one of the best captive product pricing example. So once you make a initial investment on a coffee machine, you purchase accessory products such as yung filters, yung coffee grounds to continue using the product. So single-serve coffee makers that only use compatible capsules, di ba yung para siyang jelly ace na yun lang yung pwede mong gamitin to use the product. So is always successful when using captive pricing strategy. So this is because it requires to continue buying the products from the same brand to use the initial core product you purchase. So kumbaga, you have to continue buying yung cartridges niya to continue using the core product. Advantage and advantages of captive pricing in the aspect of revenue, it ensures a steady and potentially high revenue stream from the captive products, yung itong mga complementary o yung secondary product. For the disadvantage, overpricing captive products can lead to customer dissatisfaction. Kaya nga dyan din lumalabas minsan yung mga pirated o standard, yung tinatawag natin, di ba? Pagka bibili ka ng, for example, yung sa ink ng printer, di ba? May original, specific for the specific brand, specific series or tawag doon yung ano ng printer, di ba? Ngayon, dahil nga yung ibang customer, they have the sense na no overprice sila. So the tendency is to buy a generic na ink. For the aspect of customer loyalty, it builds customer loyalty by tying them to the core product ecosystem. And for the disadvantage, customer may seek alternatives or substitutes if captive pricing is seen as unfair. For the market strategy, so low initial cost for the core product attract customers, but dependency on the captive product sales for profitability can be risky. Aspect of profit margin. So one of the advantages is it has a high margins on captive products offset the lower pricing of the core product. For the disadvantage, high reliance on the captive products may limit pricing flexibility. For the product ecosystem, it encourages long-term use of the core product through captive products, while it restricts the customer's choice, which may drive them to competitors. On the aspect of operational efficiency, simplifies the product production and inventory by focusing on essential captive products. And for the disadvantage, it requires robust inventory management to avoid stockouts of captive products. In the aspect of brand image, it enhances the perception of cohesive product ecosystem, while for the disadvantage, the risk of negative brand image if customer perceive pricing as exploitative. Because this is the last. So multiple unit pricing is a pricing scheme where the business specifies a total price for multiple units of the same item. It's also called multiple pricing. So multiple unit pricing is also known as bundling actually. No? So it's a strategy where business offers a set of price for purchasing more than one unit of the same product. So for example, if a retailer might price a product as 3 for $10 o tatlo sa 10 or tatlo for 100 instead of 35 per piece. No? So this approach encourages customers to buy a larger quantities, increasing overall sales volume. It also creates a perception of value or savings, which can drive impulse purchases and help move inventory faster, especially useful for perishable or seasonal items. For the advantage and disadvantage of multiple unit pricing, for the aspect of revenue, it increases overall sales volume by encouraging bulk purchases. For the disadvantage, lower per unit pricing may reduce profit margins. For the aspect of customer behavior, it encourages customers to buy more than they intentionally intended. For the disadvantage, they may lead to stockpiling, delaying future purchases. So for the customer perception, it creates a perception of value and savings for the customers. For while the disadvantage is the customers may perceive a forced commitment to buy in bulk. In the aspect of market strategy, it helps businesses compete by offering better deals compared to competitors, while for the disadvantage, it may not appeal to customers who prefer buyer smaller quantities. For the aspect of inventory management, it helps clear out slow-moving inventory quickly, while it can lead to stockouts if demand spikes unexpectedly due to promotion. For the operational efficiency, it simplifies transaction by bundling products into single purchase, while it requires accurate forecasting to avoid overproduction or understocking as its disadvantage. And lastly, for the brand image, it enhances the brand's image as a value-oriented company, but overuse of discounts can devalue the brand and make customers expect constant deals. That's it for today. So thank you to everyone who is present today, and expect to have a short quiz next meeting if we have a face-to-face class. So that's it for today. Thank you again. God bless and stay safe.